What's up, everybody? The gate tonight, 20,427. It was 17.7 million. Performance of the night is Romero and Conor, and the fight of the night was Woodley and Thompson. Any questions? Kevin?
Dana, the first thing I wanted to ask you was the ridiculousness of this ban in New York. And you know what? Nobody died tonight. Nobody had a traumatic brain injury. Nobody had anything happen.
Right.
And I wonder, if that makes you look back at how ignorant these lawmakers were here in keeping MMA out of this state for 19 years.
It wasn't ignorant. It was dirty politics is what it was. Everybody knows the story. For those of you that don't, the Fertittas, my old partners, own the fourth largest gaming company in Nevada, and the Las Vegas Culinary Union is what kept us out of here, and Shelley Silver. So that's really why we weren't here. But on a lighter note, because of all the 8 years of dirty politics that went on, and I would like to thank the Las Vegas Culinary Union for spending their members' dues to help make this the biggest night ever in UFC history. Thank you, dummies.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you to follow up on that, even when they approved it, the state legislature approved it.
Right.
You had those comments that they were making that were way over the top about the injuries and all the stuff that would happen.
Where are they now?
Right, and that's what I'm asking you is like, do you think that, maybe finally MMA can get acceptance and not have to go through this type of stuff?
Yeah, well, as soon as the Fertittas were gone, they scattered like roaches on to the next one, some other way to mess with the Fertittas, and they're done with the UFC. So it was disgusting and whatever. But sitting here tonight, we broke every record in UFC history tonight. Every record. Every record. The only one I'm waiting on now is the Fox number. How did Fox Sports 1 do? And it would be really, really weird and make no sense if we didn't break that record too. So,
Dana,
it turned out good for us. Yeah.
How was the first? How was the pay-per-view numbers? How are they trending right now?
Very good.
Do you think you broke?
We did. We broke the record.
Okay. And so overall, kind of, what's your kind of thought of UFC 205? Kind of how the fighters looked, how Conor looked out there, and
Conor's special. Everybody's been saying, wait till he faces a wrestler. Wait till he faces a wrestler. He throws that left hand with no effort, but boy, when it touches people, they go. It's unbelievable.
A lot of confusion in the cage afterwards with the lack of the two belts. I know you guys ran.
Whoa. Just for the record, I'm not supposed to bring his belt. He's supposed to bring his belt. Right? He's yelling at me because I don't have his belt. I'm like, no, you're supposed to bring your belt, and I give you the new belt. Sure. So we went back there, and Tyron Woodley gave us his belt. So
has Conor given it back to Tyron Woodley?
Huh? He got it back, yeah.
So
he let us borrow his belt.
What did you say to Conor in the cage? You after he got the belt, you went up to him and you said something to him. What did you say kind of at that point after you gave him that second belt?
I don't even remember.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
I'm with CNBC. A question I have for you. Some of these tickets priced for more than $18,000 today. Do you guys think you might be pricing out fans who do want to come see the show? Because this was a really big fight and the tickets did sell for a lot.
We definitely price fans out. There's no doubt that did happen. Not one of my favorite things to do, but basically there's this thing that happens right now. It's no different than, it's dynamic pricing. It's no different than, a plane ticket. When there's so much demand, the plane ticket goes up. That's what happened. But yeah, the place was sold out. It was packed to the rafters. We broke the Madison Square Garden, record, which I don't think will ever be broken again. Jesus is going to have to fight the devil to break that record, man. I just don't see what does it. But yeah.
And then a follow-up question I had for that. Like we said, MMA is returning after nearly a 20-year ban. So economically, what do you think UFC can bring to New York in the coming years?
It's what I've been saying since day one. If you look at, how many people were here from other countries in different parts of the United States, they're staying in hotels, they're eating in restaurants every night, they're shopping in the stores. The economic impact for the city of New York was outrageous, You guys done with me? No.
Obviously, a little bit of controversy with Wonderboy and Woodley and how that played out. Well, not necessarily controversy, but
Yeah.
confusion more than anything else.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think what happened was they were really trying to make sure those scores were totaled right, and you don't want to mess that up. And even when we came back, you could tell Tyron thought we were going to say, "Oops," Wonderboy won, but it was a draw. And when you look at that fight, you could call that fight. I actually had it even going into the 5th round, but my opinion doesn't mean shit. So
I guess one place it does matter, though, is what happens next with those two guys.
you rematch them, man. I think that it was a draw, and the fight was ridiculous. It was the fight of the night. You do it again.
That leaves Demian Maia, I think, on the outside looking in. What would you do with him? Ask him if he wants to wait? Let him fight?
Demian Maia's right there, man. So, he'll get the next shot if he wants to fight somebody else or whatever. I don't know. And again, it's the night of the fight. I hate to make fights the fight of the night. I don't do it, but that one makes sense. I think it makes sense.
The other two big questions, of course, Conor. I guess we can't wait to talk to him and find out what he wants to do next. But
Right.
what do you see? I mean, you guys had very differing opinions about the future of his career. You're saying he's got to. Well, you said that he needed to give up a belt. He's saying you're going to have to get an army together to take one of those belts away.
Yeah.
Where do you stand right now? I mean, with the star as bright as him, could he find a way to maybe do both these?
Listen, I've never dealt with anybody like this kid on so many different levels. Normally he walks out of the octagon and he goes, I want to fight this guy next. Nobody does that. Nobody has ever done that. Nobody's ever walked out of the octagon and told me they want to turn right around and fight again. He does. And who knows? I'm going to let him enjoy this night and enjoy it, and we'll talk business later.
So that mean maybe you're softening your stance a little bit?
No.
And just last question, Habib Nurmagomedov had an incredible performance tonight. He had some pretty strong words for Conor. I think he had a couple of words for you as well, maybe over there.
I didn't hear what he said.
Okay, what do you think? Where does he stand? I mean, does he deserve to fight?
That guy was screaming at me in between every round. Give me that fucking belt, and yelling. I was yelling back to him. Finish this fight first. How about you in 30 seconds you got to deal with him, and every round he's screaming at me. I get it. Understood. You want a title shot. I get it. We'll figure it out.
So do you have an idea? Because Tony Ferguson had an amazing performance just a week ago. Do you have an opinion on which guys?
It's a good problem to have.
Dana, I'm curious, have you had a chance to speak with Lorenzo since the fight ended tonight?
Lorenzo was texting me all night. Yeah,
Okay.
Frank was here tonight, and Lorenzo was texting me all night.
And can you share with us anything that he said to you?
He said, that was a majority draw. What are you guys doing?
And obviously, you guys have been through a lot together. What part of you wishes that he could have been here tonight with you to see the whole thing through? And
You know what? The thing is, I've told this story a million times. I was a mess when this whole deal went down. And then, this guy who's been my, close friend since high school looked at me and said, Dana, I'm done. Be happy for me. So he's in South Bend. He went to his son's football game today, Notre Dame, and he's doing what he wants to do now. No matter what happens from here, no matter what Ari and I do, no matter how big this thing gets, nobody from here on out, throughout the history of this sport forever, will have contributed more to this sport than the Fertittas have. It's easy to get into this sport now, right? We're breaking records at Madison Square Garden. The numbers are through the roof. Everything's crazy. They were doing this at a time where it didn't look good and it didn't look like the money was going to come back to them, yet they kept pumping money in. There will never be bigger contributors to this sport ever than the Fertitta brothers. So,
Dana, Wall Street Journal, 2 quick questions for you. One is...
Hey, where were you this week?
I was here.
We got no coverage from you guys at all.
There was an interview with Dana White in the Wall Street Journal today.
I missed it. All right.
All right.
Hey, sorry. Go ahead.
All right. It was a good interview.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, first question is, did you have to pay a curfew fine tonight from the Garden?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And then
Is that what they normally do if you go too late?
well, usually with concerts, I don't know how it works with sports, but concerts, it's 11, and it's 10,000 a minute.
Holy shit, I hope we don't have to pay that. Ouch. Yeah, oh God, I hope not.
And then the second thing is, in full sum, why was Conor perfect for this specific event in New York?
There's a lot of Irish here in this town, a lot of Irish history, and he wanted to fight here so bad. This was like a huge dream of his, and Yeah, it's just he was made for this event. Plus, that flight from Ireland's way shorter than Vegas. You know. Hey.
Kenny Johnson, Ring TV. 2 questions. One, to top this fight, we ever think about going to a stadium, go to Croke Park in Ireland, or go down to the south to Jerry World in Dallas and try to top the attendance record with a big card with maybe Conor and Ronda on it?
Yeah, you know, we've thought about Dallas, Texas Stadium. We thought about Croke Park. We talked about that forever. Ari and I are going to Russia in the next couple of weeks. We're working on Russia. We're working on China. We're making some real big moves here in the next several months.
And the whole thing with Ronda, her showing up out the blue and not speaking, is that something that she's going to do coming up to the next fight?
That was, first of all, she was never supposed to speak, and neither was Amanda. My production guys screwed that thing up. And the thing that, you know, it made Ronda look bad again, like she just stormed off and didn't do it. They were not supposed to do an interview. They were supposed to go up there, square off, and they're both supposed to walk away. So.
Why'd you grab her by the arm then?
Huh?
Why'd you grab her by the arm?
Because what I was doing, so they squared off, and then I was getting them to face forward, and I was waiting for somebody to bring Amanda's belt. You know how we do that? To put the belt so then that you guys could take the pictures of them moving forward. And then I grab her and I turn around, and Rogan's interviewing her. Right? I was trying to get them to stand forward and then somebody bring Amanda the belt. Hey, we're not perfect all the time. We actually, our team coming into this big event, we made a lot of mistakes at this event that I'm not happy about. Not stuff that you would notice, but I try to be perfect, but it didn't work out.
Is she gonna talk?
Huh?
Is she gonna talk?
Ronda's been talking. She was on Ellen. She's doing Kimmel. She's doing all the talk shows. She gonna talk to you guys? I don't know. Huh? Yep.
Dana over here. What did you think of the Carolina and Joanna fight? Also, are you going to give Carolina her wish and give her that rematch in Poland in 2017?
Yeah, that fight was awesome. I mean, both those girls wanted that fight really bad. Carolina is a girl. Joanna wanted her here and wanted to fight her, and both girls had hematomas tonight. Joanna had a broken nose, and these two, it was a stylistic, technical dogfight. Man, it was awesome. Great fight. Rematch. Carolina wants the rematch real bad. Her guys have been all over me. We'll see what happens. I think we do Claudia Gadelha and Carolina, and see what happens. But again, I don't like making fights the night of the fight, so we'll see what happens. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Right over here.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Raquel Pennington's performance tonight against Miesha Tate, and thoughts on Miesha Tate retiring? Were you surprised by that?
Yeah. So Raquel has looked better and better and better every time she fights. She's looking really good. And no, I didn't see the Miesha Tate thing coming, but you know it makes sense. Miesha's been so tough and durable, and not a tough durable one, but a tough durable athlete. Been in this for so long, and you know I could just tell when I talked to her tonight. Her and I had a little bit of a thing tonight. You know, she was refusing to go to the hospital, and I'm like, "You're going to the hospital?" She's like, "Fuck you! I don't work for you anymore." So yeah, I was like, "That's a good point," but. You need to go to the hospital. So she's upset and she's very emotional. But you know, I care about Miesha a lot, and I think she's going to do just fine in her life after fighting. You know, I said, listen. Then I had to start begging. If you go to the hospital tonight, I'll get you another job doing something else. You know, then I can be your boss again. So she went. Yeah, she has to go. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Dana over here. Yoel Romero, Michael Bisping, we saw there was a bit of an exchange during the broadcast, but is that set in stone?
I didn't see that, yeah, okay.
Is that, yeah, Michael.
But yeah, that's the fight that makes sense. I mean, he beat Chris Weidman tonight.
Is that UFC 206? Is that off the table? Is it are we looking at next?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know when, but yeah, that's the fight.
And one more question. It was an interesting moment when Bruce Buffer left the octagon, went out to double check the announcement, and came in and sort of gave the wrong one. Do you know what exactly happened there?
Yeah, I think that the commission was trying to be correct. They were adding up the scores again. I don't know if somebody started to add and thought that it was wrong or whatever the deal was. They messed it up. They just wanted to make sure that they got that thing right, so we had to come in and do it again. It rarely ever happens in the UFC. It's happened one time, no big deal. Listen, it would have been a major, major screw up if it was the other way around. Like we had to say, "Oops, you didn't win, he won," and switch the belt. That would have been real bad. So it worked out all right. Yep, done. Yeah. Hey, so. Leading up to this fight, Wednesday's press conference was awesome. The weigh-ins were one of the most incredible things I've ever been a part of. And tonight, I told the fighters yesterday, I've done everything I can do. All the bells and whistles, all the stuff that I do is done. It's up to you guys. They went in and delivered. I know that I don't have the best relationship with you guys sometimes and everything else, but you guys are such a huge part of tonight. And thank you for all that you do and the hard work that you put in over the years. Tonight was a massive win for the UFC, a huge win for the sport, and you're all a big part of it. And I just want to, I'm not always the nicest guy to you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Huh? Don't piss me off. I'm leaving now.